So Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta is still going on. If you haven't downloaded it already, then it's time for you to log into Origin, download it because it's free, and see what you think. If you like the first one but you missed a couple of things, then you might consider giving this a go just to see if it feels a bit different than the old one. Now, as promised in the previous video, I did get to test out all the unlocks. I got to test out some of the cards, well, most of the cards, all the heroes, all the villains, and I have to say that Boba Fett is still my favorite. There's just simply nothing out there to counter him. If you use him correctly, Boba Fett will just simply dominate the whole match, and you're not going to die with him, and you're just going to have a lot of fun. Now, after trying all the classes and all the different power-ups and things like that, most of the weapons that you get to unlock, they're pretty similar, so you're not going to have too much of a disadvantage versus everybody else. But most of the time I found myself playing either Assault, or I found myself playing as the Heavy. The Officer class didn't really do anything for me, so was the Specialist. It just simply didn't really have any special abilities or anything like that. They wanted me to go back and play it over and over and again, and I gotta say that I'm missing my cycler rifle. I don't know if that's something that they removed. I hope not, because I really enjoyed that thing in Battlefront 1, and hopefully they'll sort of bring that back, because that thing was just a hell of a lot of fun to use. Now, getting back into the actual game, what they've changed, what they've done. Well, I love what they've done with the cards. You know, you can't just go and pick up something on the battlefield and then that's it, you're a hero all of a sudden. Kind of everybody knew what everything was, and you'll kind of spawn camping them. So as soon as something would spawn, you'd just go get that card, press 4, I think it was, or whatever, and that's it, you turned into a hero. So I like the way they've done it now. They actually have some points. Every time you kill somebody, you get an assist, you get any kind of team play or anything like that done, you actually get some points and use those points to unlock certain things. Now, you can, unfortunately, you can get a jet trooper by paying 2,000 credits or points or whatever for it. I was kind of hoping that you can still buy a jetpack and use it, because that was to be one of the most fun things that you could possibly do. Just sort of get in, get a couple of shots, or throw a grenade in the middle of it, and then just simply just bounce out really quick, just fly, and then you guys have some really cool kills. But I see that they actually removed that, so you can only have a jet trooper by paying 2,000 credits, and obviously when you die you gotta pay it again to play it again. So maybe that's something they can maybe look into a little bit, because I think that that's gonna bring a whole lot of a dimension to the game. You know, it's not gonna be that linear as it is now. It's just basically it feels like I'm sort of playing Rush in Battlefield. It's just a bit simple. There's no depth to it, you know, there's no verticality to it. It just needs to be a little bit more into it, and I think that the jet troopers and the jetpacks and things like that did make it a little bit different, because you had people on mountains, on hilltops, on top of ships, on top of everywhere, so you just never knew where to look and where to find stuff. So that's what kind of made it a little bit more interesting. But as it is so far, like I said, you do need to pay credits for pretty much everything. So if you want to be a jet trooper, a Wookiee warrior, if you want to spawn into a tank, if you want to spawn in the MTT, you will need to pay the X amount of points for it, the X amount of credits for it, and then you'll spawn in. Now, most of these things I've tried, the MTT is pretty useless. There's not really anybody that goes out in the open there, so you might get a kill or two if you get a little bit lucky. Most of the time nobody really goes in the middle of the map, so you've got nothing to shoot at, so you're just going to be sitting there for like a whole minute, and then that's it. You also have about 3,500 worth of points to pay for a whole tank. Once you got into the tank, while it's pretty fun to use, it's pretty slow and it's hard to get around corners. It's impeded by trees, you can't go past them. And since there's not really that much room on the map to maneuver, then you're going to be struggling a little bit. And then when you get towards the end, if that MTT is always in front of you or in the back of you, you can't really get past it. You'll have to go through the narrow streets to go around him, and it's just pretty slow. And then when you get to the very end of it, you can't actually get out of it because you're stuck in the tank. There is no button that you can press. I think in the old Battlefront there used to be a button where you press E or F or something like that, and then you just hold it for a little bit, and then you'd get out and continue your journey on foot. You literally have to kill yourself if you want to carry on and you don't want to be in a tank anymore. So if I go back to the heroes a little bit, there is only one choice for me. I mean, you might find it a little bit different, and of course you want to try Darth Maul, of course you want to try Rey and Han Solo and everybody else, but there's not that many. I was kind of hoping that they'll stick in Kylo Ren for now, you know, like whole new heroes, instead of having, say, Boba Fett that we've seen in the previous Battlefront, and Han Solo, we've seen it before. I mean, they could have stuck in somebody just new, just to see what we think of it, what we feel of it, but as it is so far, Boba Fett is the right choice for you to make, just because he's got that verticality to him that's going to make it so much more fun, and you can get in and get out, and you have your rocket barrage, and it's just going to be so much fun using him. So looking back at Battlefront 2 as a whole, as a beta, I wouldn't really think it's anything special. The gameplay is pretty much similar to what the first one was. The gunplay is pretty bad. The heroes, there's no contest. Boba Fett is going to be the winner there. There's a couple of power-ups. I love what they've done with the power-ups, that you can no longer just be a hero because you know where the card spawns. I love the cards, I love the system, and that is kind of it really. I'm kind of still hoping that they're going to do something incredibly different than what they've done so far, because it just feels like the same Battlefront. We just added a couple of more things. The classes, there's no real depth to it and anything like that. Sure, there's a couple of guns here and there that you can change in a few cards, but there's no verticality to the game. It's pretty simple to what it is. It just feels very linear. It just feels like the old Battlefront was. And once you get to a certain stage where you've mastered the sort of the game a little bit, you know the spawns, you know where people should be coming towards you from, you should be able to dominate game in and game out. Once you push up, like you'll see what I'm doing right now with the Boba Fett, I know everybody's going to be up here. You go in, you use your rocket barrage, you take 4, 5, 6 guys out, and then that's it. You pull back and you wait for it to recharge, and you do it all over again. Another thing that I missed in the Battlefront 2 beta was the ability for you to switch teams. Now, there is no button. I'm thinking that this is just something they forgot to include in. It's for you to switch teams. I mean, I don't want to play as the clones because the clones don't have that good of a heroes, and I want to be playing as the droids because they have Boba Fett, they have Darth Maul, and they'll have pretty cool heroes later when the game's going to get released, but there was no option to switch whatsoever. So I'm wondering if that was just a mistake, something they forgot to include, or is that done on purpose for you to play every single character and every single hero and every single class that's out there. And when it comes down to the Battlefront 2 beta, I gotta say, there was just nothing special about it. I didn't really feel wowed at any point. I just felt, okay, there's just another Battlefront that's coming out. It's gonna be some new heroes. Okay, there's some new maps, some favorite maps from the movies, or if you watch the cartoons and you know all the lore and everything about it. I didn't really feel at any point that it was just something extremely special or something incredible. I mean, like we did, there's still no server browser. That's still going to be a problem. I was even struggling to find matches in the beta, and this is a free game, so let us hope that's just a bug or something like that, because the old Battlefront, that was kind of dead in a couple of months, and nobody was really playing it after the first sort of initial wave of people sort of buying it just because there's nostalgia and it's a Star Wars game and things like that. So let's hope that's going to be a little bit different. I kind of don't see it really, because I see it just the same old really. Just a couple of more maps and a couple of more heroes and things like that and villains, but nothing really that special. So I'll leave you with some more action from the bounty hunter himself. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, post a comment, let me know what you think about the Battlefront 2 beta, and I'll see you in the next one.
Doors unsealing, run decimation programs, push the enemy back, and prepare for phase 3.